The movie starts by telling the sad story of a tiny baby who was left alone on the streets, like nobody wanted him. But destiny had different ideas for this little guy. A kind couple found him and decided to be his family. They gave him the name Fang and took care of him really well, even though they didn't have much money. As Fang grew up, he was a good kid who had lots of potential. He got to learn from an amazing Shaolin master who taught him some super strong fighting moves when he was still a kid. Fang was really smart, and he learned those moves really fast. He became so good that he could even beat older and more experienced robbers. As the years went by, Fang grew up to be a strong and capable young man. One day, a bunch of hungry robbers came to his village, looking for food and stuff. But Fang had a feeling something was fishy because he saw that these guys had recently kidnapped a prince. He knew he had to do the right thing. So, Fang jumped into action and made a plan to rescue the prince and beat the robbers. When the bad guys figured out who Fang was, they got scared and ran away. Fang found it pretty funny and laughed at how surprised they were. After saving the prince, Fang and his crew had a meeting with other important leaders. But then there was a big surprise. One of the leaders, Bai Sijing, accused Fang of doing something really bad, like betraying their group by killing one of the older guys. Bai Sijing had some proof, like a letter from his brother-in-law, who said he saw Fang do it. And to make things even more complicated, the wife of the guy who got killed, Madame Ma, was saying the same thing. Even though they accused him of some really bad stuff, Fang stayed cool and didn't lose his temper. But before he could explain himself, the big boss's older brother showed up and dropped a bombshell. He told everyone that Fang wasn't even originally from their group. He was adopted from the Chi-Tunt nation and didn't have any issues with the older brother. This news totally wrecked Fang's reputation as a hero because people didn't like the Chi-Tunt nation. They thought they were just wanderers without a real home. The people who used to look up to Fang were shocked, and they started doubting his true intentions and who he really was. Even though his loyal followers tried to defend him, Fang decided to leave and go into hiding because he couldn't handle all the shame and rejection he was facing. Little did he know that the king of the neighboring kingdom, Mu Rongfu, and his gang were watching him from afar. Mu Rongfu sent a skilled thief named Aju to steal an important book from the Shaolin College, hoping it would give him an advantage over his rival. Fang decided to go back to where he was born and talk to his adoptive parents to find out about his past. But when he got there, he found out that both of his parents were really sick and couldn't tell him anything before they passed away. And to make matters worse, 2 monks showed up and accused Fang of killing his parents. They also says about his Chi-Tunt background, and the news spread everywhere, making Fang face not only his past, but also the prejudices of people around him. After he buried his parents, Fang went to a Shaolin temple and saw his great teacher, who was really sick. The teacher's students asked who hurt him, but he didn't say anything, thinking that one day the person would feel sorry. Later, Fang went into his teacher's room and tried to find out where he came from. But he found out that his teacher had passed away, and he had the Shaolin school members chasing him for some reason he didn't know. As he tried to run away, he bumped into a thief who looked like a Shaolin student trying to steal a book from the temple. Fang thought she was the one who accused him, so he confronted her. But later, he realized she was a woman named Aju. With his enemies still after him, Fang ran away with Aju by his side. That night, Fang used his special energy knowledge to help Aju get better. When Aju woke up, she said thanks to Fang and wanted to go on her way. But when Fang looked closer, he realized that Aju was more hurt than he thought at first. Feeling like it was his fault, Fang gave Aju some clothes and food to help her recover. They kept on traveling together, and they faced a lot of problems along the way. But they stuck by each other and never gave up. As Aju's injuries got worse, Fang knew that his energy skills weren't enough to make her completely better, so he decided to find a holy healer to help her. After looking for days, they finally found someone who would heal Aju's wounds completely. As they kept going, Aju told Fang about her past and how she was made to steal the school's important book. Fang was really surprised to hear this, but he admired Aju for being so brave and determined to find out who she really was. He promised to help her find her real parents and set things right. As the night went on, Fang and Ajou talked more and more about their lives and what they hoped for in the future. They both had dreams of discovering who they really were and having a peaceful life. Fang told Ajou about how he felt guilty about his brother's death and how he was wrongly accused. Ajou listened carefully and comforted him, telling him that he wasn't a bad person and she believed he was innocent. Time passed and Fang and Ajou kept on traveling, facing lots of problems along the way. They had to deal with dangerous robbers, tricky landscapes, and even someone they thought was a friend turning against them. But no matter what happened, they never gave up on their mission to find Ajou's real parents and clear Fang's name. While they journeyed together, Fang and Ajou got closer and closer, becoming even better friends with each day. Fang knew that Ajou needed better medical care for her injuries, so he decided to take her to the place where all the members of his old group were gathering, including the Holy Healer. When they got there, Bai Sijing and Madame Ma were mad at Fang because of what he had done to his own brother. Even though it was dangerous, Fang went to the Holy Healer and asked for help. The healer said they could treat Ajou, but only if Fang gave up his own life in exchange. Despite the big risk, Fang agreed to save Ajou's life. It was a brave and selfless thing to do, showing how much he cared for her. After leaving Ajou with the Holy Healer, Fang knew he had to keep his promise. He had agreed to give up his own life to save Ajou from her injuries, but before he did that, he asked his closest friends to join him in a ritual where they all drank a rack together. Madame Ma was the first to take a drink, showing her respect for Fang's sacrifice, even though he was doing it for a woman he didn't really know. Bai Sijing also drank, not knowing that Fang was the one who had killed his older brother. The other members of the beggar group, who Fang thought of as his brothers, joined in too, since they had fought alongside him for a long time. Suddenly, a swordsman who claimed to be a friend of Fang's showed up. Fang couldn't remember him, and the swordsman's violent actions made the sect members attack him. In a crazy 1-against-100 fight, Fang realized he was no longer a hero. Without thinking twice, he killed every member of his group one by one, even the friends who had beaten him up earlier. In all the chaos, Madame Ma saw a chance to sneakily hurt Ajou, but the Holy Healer saved her just in time, keeping his promise to Fang to look after Ajou. However, in a really mean twist, the Holy Healer stabbed Fang when he wasn't watching. Even though he was hurt, Fang fought as hard as he could to protect Ajou, the only person he trusted and loved. Fang passed out because of his injuries, and a mysterious person grabbed him and took him away, leaving Ajou with the healer. The fate of Fang and Ajou is uncertain, as their connected destinies keep unfolding. On the other side, Murong was pretty happy because his plan worked perfectly. He was proud of himself for making Fang turn against his own group, and now he wanted to get even more powerful. He was thinking about starting a war and taking over Fang's group's territory. At the same time, Ajou got better thanks to the Holy Healer's help, but she couldn't leave because she owed him her life. She was really worried about Fang, who had disappeared without a clue. As Fang got better from his injuries, he found himself being taken care of by a mysterious guy who wouldn't say who he really was. But during one of their talks, the man suddenly mentioned that Fang's parents were good people, which got Fang interested. He felt like this was important, so he kept asking the man for more details about his real parents, hoping to find a lost connection to his past. At the same time, Ajou pulled off a daring escape from the Holy Healer's place. She changed her appearance to avoid being spotted by the guards. Ajou used her quick thinking and cleverness to trick the guards into leaving their posts, and she slipped away without anyone noticing. But things got tricky when the Holy Healer found out she had escaped. Since Ajou already figured what the Holy Healer might do, she decided to stop him by killing him and burning his temple down. The next morning, Fang went to see the damage at the Holy Healer's place, and he found that it was completely destroyed. Out of nowhere, Mu Rongfu showed up and asked Fang to join him in his quest for power, but Fang said no because he knew Mu Rongfu was up to no good. With that in mind, Fang left to keep going on his journey. But soon, his journey got interrupted by some soldiers who were capturing poor people to make them into slaves. Fang couldn't stand seeing such unfairness, so he jumped in and fought the soldiers, freeing the helpless people. Mu Rongfu watched from far away, and saw that he couldn't trick Fang into joining his side, so he ran away. That left Fang to continue on his path of doing what's right and fair. A little while later, Fang decided to visit the place where he was left as a baby. Unexpectedly, he bumped into Aju out of the blue. She told him she had been looking for him for days. Fang felt really thankful and promised to help Aju find her real parents and live peacefully away from the kingdom. But before that, he asked Aju to help him with a plan to trick Bai Sijing and Madame Ma. Aju was totally on board with the idea, so they got together to make their plan. When night came, Aju dressed up like Madame Ma to carry out their plan and make Bai Sijing look bad. She went up to Bai Sijing and told him that their plot to make Fang look bad had worked. To their surprise, Bai Sijing admitted that he was just a pawn being used by Du-Wan Zhengsheng, the future leader of their group. Fang kept up his investigation while pretending to be a horse driver. He finally figured out why they were trying to make him look guilty. The sect leaders were scared that he might become their grandmaster. Bai Sijing told Fang this, and then he left, but it was obvious something was up. Bai Sijing seemed to know that Fang and Aju were the ones who framed him because he met with the real Madame Ma later on. They talked about their real plan, which worked this time. They revealed that Du-Wan Zhengsheng didn't actually kill their older brother. It was Madame Ma herself. She had been a victim of abuse from her husband. They also hinted that Bai Sijing and Madame Ma had a secret relationship. Fang and his friends continued on their journey to get back at Du-Wan Zhengsheng. When they got to his place, they saw Du-Wan Zhengsheng having a big fight with his wife and his daughter. They were arguing because Du-Wan Zhengsheng had been unfaithful to his wife with another woman. His daughter got so mad that she attacked his dad with a needle and accidentally threw away his pendant. Fang jumped in and stopped the fight, saving Du-Wan Zhengsheng from his son's attack. Du-Wan Zhengsheng was thankful and invited Fang to stay at his place for a while. Fang saw this as the perfect chance to finally get back at Du-Wan Zhengsheng for all the trouble he had caused him before. At Du-Wan Zhengsheng's house, Fang saw a big argument going on between Du-Wan Zhengsheng and his wife. They didn't know it, but Aju was secretly listening from behind the door. Du-Wan Zhengsheng's wife was really tired of him cheating on her all the time. She even admitted that she had left one of their kids on purpose, hoping that the child would grow up to hate Du-Wan Zhengsheng. As they kept arguing, Aju suddenly realized that she was the abandoned child they were talking about. She had a pendant just like the one Du-Wan Zhengsheng's daughter had, but she wasn't ready to tell them who she really was, so she left without revealing her true identity as their daughter. Back at Fang's place, Aju tried to get closer to him with her romantic gestures, even though she knew he was planning to kill her biological father. She told him she loved him and said nice things about how he took care of her when she was sick and needed someone. But no matter what she did, Fang stayed focused on his mission and told Aju that they could think about their future together after they finished the job. Fang left Aju and went to Du-Wan Zhengsheng's place, but he couldn't find him anywhere. Instead, he ran into a bunch of monks who warned him about how seeking revenge can cause a lot of harm to your own life. Fang didn't listen to their advice and kept looking for Du-Wan Zhengsheng because he was consumed by his deep anger. When Fang got back to his boat, he got a big surprise. Du-Wan Zhengsheng was waiting for him there. Because of his intense hatred, Fang let out all his anger and attacked Du-Wan Zhengsheng with his powerful move, the 18 Dragon Palms. But then, out of nowhere, Aju showed up and took the hit, pretending to be Du-Wan Zhengsheng. At that moment, Fang realized that what he was doing was pointless and would only hurt the people he cared about. Fang took Aju's body back to her real parents, and that's when Du-Wan Zhengsheng told the truth about the accusations against him. He explained that Bai Sijing and Madame Ma, along with Mu Rongfu, had teamed up to take over their group and had wrongly blamed him. Du-Wan Zhengsheng even admitted that he didn't actually see their older brother die. When Fang heard all this, he got a new purpose and hurried to confront Bai Sijing and Madame Ma. When he got to Bai Sijing and Madame Ma, Fang spilled the beans on everything he knew. He faced Bai Sijing and Madame Ma and told them about all the stuff that happened and how he had finally learned the truth about Du-Wan Zhengsheng and their group's older brother. He was really upset with Bai Sijing for joining up with the sneaky Mu Rongfu and being part of the plan to take over their group. Then something unexpected happened. Ashu's sister showed up and greeted Mrs. Ma warmly, but it ended up with her sister injuring because she poured hot oil on her face. Just when Feng and Ashu's sister were about to harm the two guys, they heard soldiers coming their way. Bai Sijin realized that Mu Rongfu had come to rescue him, so he ran off to join him. But what Mu Rongfu didn't know was that Aju had given Feng an amazing sword that belonged to Du Wan Zhenxing. This sword was known for being really deadly, and with it, Feng could fight off all of Mu Rongfu's soldiers all by himself. Things got really intense as there was a big fight to the death between Mu Rongfu and Feng. The battle was even more intense because Feng saw something awful when he got to the battlefield. Mu Rongfu and his army had killed and displayed Feng's old beggar group members. Even though Mu Rongfu had a technique that could counter Feng's 18 dragon palms, Feng was able to use his ultimate move by remembering his past. This move was super powerful and left Mu Rongfu helpless and defeated. After beating Mu Rongfu, Feng decided to leave the army and the beggars who might need his help later. The movie ends with a scene of Feng living near the kingdom's border, close to Ashu's grave, which she had buried there. In a touching moment, Feng pictures a life would have been if he and Ashu had left everything behind and raised cattle. So the moral of the story is don't mess with a guy who knows the 18 dragon palms, and definitely don't pour hot oil on someone's face during a family reunion. It won't end well.